Hello, it's Mark Cribb here. Any of you that know me will know that I love hospitality. I love the world of food and drink for so many reasons. It kind of feels like one of the points of being on planet Earth is to spend time with family and with friends, and you know, the opportunity that coffee and tea and food and drink creates to do that and be a bit of an atmosphere breaker is fantastic. As a result of that, a few months ago I launched a podcast, and I often get asked why and what's the podcast about, so I thought, well, I'll just tell you. And every week I go around the country and I find these amazing human beings behind the hospitality industry. The podcast is called The Humans of Hospitality. And by that I don't just mean kind of commercial hospitality, it's really aimed at anybody who's interested where food and drink comes from, because hospitality is something that we all do, hopefully in our houses. You know, when you open the door and a guest appears and you offer them a cup of tea or a glass of wine, it really encompasses all of us. We all love eating and drinking and spending time with people. But it has a slant towards the industry, because most of the people that I interview are the people behind food and drinks. And that might be chefs or restaurateurs, it might be coffee roasters, gin makers. And I really like finding people who get obsessively geeky about their specific niche, and whether that's where tea comes from or the world's most amazing chocolate or whatever it is. We're very lucky in this industry that it's full of obsessive people who find and love their niche and then bring it to us. And as restaurateurs, our job is just to make sure that we don't screw those ingredients up and we provide them to everybody else in the beautiful public. But one of the other reasons I did this, and I'll tell a specific story, is I travelled over the night once. I love cycling and I like cycling in the mountains. And I went over to Bourg-de-Son, excuse my French accent, at the base of Alpe d'Huez in France. And I'd been driving all night and I got to this little village about 7:30 in the morning. And there was this lovely little boulangerie opened. And I went in there and ordered a croissant, a pain au chocolat and a coffee. And I sat in there drinking this beautiful coffee, eating this lovely croissant. And I looked out over the square and there were 4 or 5 other bakeries, boulangeries, all full of people, of French people, buying proper bread, that bread that goes hard after about 4 hours that you can't eat, but when you first eat it, it's so beautiful. And I thought, what a beautiful, amazing food culture they've got here, where all of these people come in every day and buy fresh produce and have a chat. Yeah, I knew that at home people would be walking into a big petrol station and pressing a button on a vending machine, and that's where they were getting their coffee. And I think we're subconsciously, in the UK, we subconsciously end up spending our money in the kind of places that means we're going to end up with a beige high street and we're all going to die of boredom. I think we all agree that when you go to a high street or to your local town and there's a quirky, interesting bar or restaurant or bakery or coffee shop, and you know the people's names and it's got an energy and it's not just some sort of big branded chain, it makes you feel good. And I think if we all keep spending our money in the wrong kind of places, we are going to sleepwalk subconsciously into a dull, boring, beige world. So I need everybody to consciously think about it. And I think the best way to do that is if we talk to the human beings, if we talk to these amazing people behind the scenes who obsess about their tiny little niche, then hopefully when you're walking down the high street, instead of going left into big branded chain, you go right and support the little guy. And that's not because I don't like the chains. Actually, hats off to anybody who can grow their business and love their business enough to develop it. Brilliant. I just don't think that should be the only thing. I don't think they should dominate so much that we lose the independence. So yeah, I'd love you to tune in. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, humansofhospitality.co.uk is the website. Loads of fascinating people. Go and have a look. You don't have to listen to it, but I'd love it if you tried it. And if you can leave a review, subscribe, and let's share the adventure of what is a phenomenal, phenomenal privilege of a world of hospitality, food and drink. Thank you very much.